China revealed several combat air developments during the last week of October 2021. As photos and videos gradually became clearer, Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, otherwise known as CAC, first demonstrated their twin-seat air superiority fighter prototype. In 2020, Boeing will develop and manufacture the Mantis, a sixth-generation stealth fighter jet designed to upgrade and replace the FA-18 Hornet and Super Hornet fighter jets. As a competitor to the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, the new stealth Mantis was designed to be space-capable when it's released into active service in 2023, beating out the SF-35 Lightning. Both unmanned drones and human pilots can control them. Similar to the B-2 Spirit, this aircraft is designed with a tailless flying wing. Advanced stealth materials make it virtually invisible on radar. Moreover, commercial satellite imagery of the CAC has also been published online, capturing a tantalizing new aircraft with potential implications for sixth-generation fighter aircraft development efforts, as well as for unmanned aircraft systems, UAVs. The PLA had been following rumors of a twin-seat J-20 since the mid-2010s. However, it was only in the last 2 years that PLA watchers began to expect that such an aircraft would emerge. With each new image and video, the details and general characteristics of the aircraft became clearer. The serial number was 2031. Its cockpit and canopy were also clearly visible in the clearer front and side profile imagery. Additionally, it was shown that the overall canopy was constructed of two pieces with a major external frame between the two, while the forward canopy piece was still reinforced with an internal brace. The initial assessment of the aircraft's configuration resembles the computer-rendered image of the twin-seat J-20, briefly glimpsed in an industry video released by AVIC in early 2021. As is typical of PLA, many simple facts have yet to be established. It is unknown what the twin-seat J-20 is called. The most commonly used designations are J-20S or J-20AS and J-20B. Due to the similarities in dimensions, platform, and airframe between this aircraft and the standard single-seat J-20, as well as sharing the same dimensions and power plants, I will refer to it as J-20S. The J-20S's intended role is also unclear. Some people have considered the J-20S as a combat-ready conversion trainer. It is, however, doubtful whether conversion training would be worthwhile or a useful use of resources, given modern training regimes, improving simulation systems, and the proliferation of advanced trainers such as the JL-10s. Although J-20S may be used for advanced tactics such as an ad hoc training vehicle, the issue of poor visibility of the rear seat cockpit further casts doubt on the viability of this vehicle as an everyday conversion trainer. One increasingly speculated role for the J-20S is to provide enhanced general battle management and command and control compared to a single-seat J-20. By providing more survivable and distributed early warning and control aircraft and airborne command post, the fighter would augment traditional airborne early warning and control aircraft. Some recent disclosures suggest the PLA intends to equip manned aircraft, such as the J-20, to control drones, which is consistent with broader international trends to include UAVs and UCAVs within manned-unmanned team operations. Automation, currently and in the future, will likely allow human crews to perform more complex battle management and command tasks. Although advanced automation and artificial intelligence are on the rise, even in an era of advanced automation, the number of humans required to take in information, delegate tasks, and make strategic decisions is the rate-limiting step for aircraft crews to perform complex tasks on time. Hence, it is also impossible to gauge whether the single-seat J-20 can perform battle management and command roles, except that it's likely to be significantly more capable than the single-seat fighter. Next, we need to confirm the dimensions of the weapon bay for the J-20S and confirm its power plant, likely to be the same WS-10 that powers all production J-20s since mid-2019, and wait for its development and testing period before it enters service. There are rumors that the J-20S would experience relatively brisk testing and development in somehow 3 to 4 years, even before entering into service sometime around the year 2025, as this one is somehow an enhanced version of the standard J-20, Chinese carrier-borne stealth fighter. Since at least 3 years ago, it has been known that the PLAN's carrier-borne 5th-generation aircraft would be based on SAC's FC-31 technology demonstrator aircraft. Rumors surfaced shortly after the Zhuhai Air Show that the aircraft had made its first flight, but the first images of the aircraft in flight were not posted online until late October, although the date of the images cannot be determined. Even though PLA watchers do not know the aircraft's name, they continue to use temporary designations like J-35 or JXY. JXY has many important characteristics that are confirmed by the few available images. Both the catapult launch bar on the nose landing gear and the visible wing fold lines confirm that the JXY is designed for carrier-borne use. The photo angles and resolution of the current photos do not reveal details of the rear landing gear, nor the rear ventral fuselage where a tailhook would be located. However, additional images are likely to reveal these details. The JXY mock-up aboard the PLAN's carrier mock-up facility at Wuhan also suggests a wider overall wingspan, as did the enlarged dorsal fuselage just posterior to the canopy. There is a redesigned canopy as well, which according to rumors, now opens from the back rather than the front. An EOIRST, electro-optic infrared search and track type sensor, similar to the EOIRST on the J-20 or the EOTS on the F-35, can also be seen on the chin of the aircraft. Accordingly, the JXY is designed for catapult launch and will be deployed on the 003 carriers currently under construction, as well as future catapult-equipped carriers the PLAN procures. The JXY's flexibility will also be determined by its ability to operate from PLAN's ski jump carriers, CV-16 Liaoning and CV-17 Shandong. It would greatly increase their overall capability, as well as their longevity if they were able to operate JXYZ from these two carriers as well. JXY seems to have more in common with the 201X series of prototypes than it does with the 200X technology demonstrator prototypes, or the FC-31 technology demonstrators currently in the air. With the two FC-31 demonstrators already tested, it is not surprising that the JXY appears relatively mature in its configuration, but it will of course be subjected to extensive testing and integration. Carrier-based fighters will experience milestones such as landings and launches from land-based catapults and possibly ski jumps, as well as launches from a carrier at sea. The PLAN may be able to commission its first airframe by the end of 2026 if the JXY can leverage relevant experience gained from the flight testing of FC-31 demonstrator airframes and utilize subsystems from the J-20. Such projections are very preliminary and will be revised in the coming months and years as the program moves forward. Finally, in late October, the third tactical air development was a series of satellite images taken of a mysterious airframe discovered in CAC's Chengdu factory. It's estimated that the aircraft is 14 meters long with a 12-meter wingspan, with a large delta wing and no visible tails or horizon stabilizers, and a continuous slight dorsal hump along its center line, indicating a single-engine aircraft. While the identity of this mystery airframe is far less concrete than the J-20S and the JXY, it may prove more significant in the long run. Due to the poor quality imagery, it is impossible to tell if the airframe is a real, functioning aircraft or a mock-up. Additionally, we cannot determine if the aircraft is manned or unmanned since the imagery cannot definitely rule out the presence of a cockpit. At the factory site, J-10 and J-20 aircraft are available for comparison with the mystery airframe, which is quite distinct due to its dimensions, its delta wing, and its absence of tails and stabilizers. The use of a relatively sizable tailless delta wing airframe is fairly obvious, regardless of whether it is a mock-up or a flyable aircraft. Future UCAV and 6th generation aircraft are both likely to use Delta-style planforms and will likely be developed and tested as pre-developmental work. Having a 14-meter by 12-meter size, the mystery airframe would be between a medium-weight fighter and a large UCAV. However, it would also be between the size of a demonstrator aircraft, similar to the American X-29 and X-31, or the Japanese X-2 ATDX. Towards the future. With photographic evidence and their maiden flights, the J-20S and the JXY can be considered confirmed projects. As the first ever tandem 5th generation fighter, the J-20S holds the distinction, while the JXY is the second 5th generation fighter designed for arrested landing carrier operations. A few other combat aircraft projects are anticipated to emerge in the next few years, leading up to 2025. Catapult-compatible J-15B variants, sometimes referred to as J-15B, are the most immediate. The aircraft might have already made its maiden flight, but there is no definitive evidence for this. As with the related J-16D aircraft, the J-15D is also expected to enter production with a catapult-compatible variant. Moreover, the PLA Air Force expects to develop a production-ready variant of the FC-31 in the next year or two. Land-based variants of the JXY are likely to have significant subsystems, logistics, and overlap in testing and development. For the last note, H-20 Stealthy Strategic Bomber, which has been a long-awaited project, while its prototype airframes are already under construction, is expected to be available in the market in the upcoming 2 years. There are also rumors that a theater-range stealthy fighter bomber, sometimes called JHXX, will be developed by 2025, followed by a quiet time of 5 or 6 years, in the context of no new Chinese combat aircraft types emerging during that time. 2021 may be marked by the beginning of a new cycle of combat aircraft development.